Alright, welcome back. This is M-Dog, and this is going to be Bream Spot Part 2. $2,200. That fish hooked on at 2,200. To be honest with you, I was like messing around on my other monitor trying to figure out if I was going to record another session here. Got a bite right at the beginning of Bream time. Had some weird like orange coloration on there, and I thought I better start recording and not wait any longer because this session might start off with a bang. Now, let me show you what we've got on the first line, which is what we just caught that trophy on. The first two lines are going to be identical, and this is how we started off with them in the last video. 9.8 fluorocarbon, regular bream mix, size 8 hook, natural garlic dough. Okay, I mean that is to me like the standard bream setup. If it's not broke, don't feel like you got to fix it. So I went back to standard setup there on the first two lines. Now I did want to play around some more with the third line. And so what we've done is we've thrown an 18 hook on there with 6.4 fluorocarbon line. If we don't catch big bream with that small a hook, I'm going to make that line even smaller. Live on the edge a little bit. Because what we're trying to do is see if we can't coax a trophy white bream out. And we obviously need to get our lights on. Get our camp lanterns lit here because it is awfully dark. Alright, so this is a big test here. What are we catching on size 18 hooks in this spot? Yeah, see, are there just so many bream here that we can't really safely target white bream? It's like, if there's regular bream there and the white bream trophies are coming out on the same bait, it may just not be possible to distinguish the two. Now, we could try red worm, and see if that works better with the white bream. You know, that might be good. I also wouldn't mind looking really quick at a couple of different regions to see what all. So the white bream, yeah, regular worm. We could try that. We could also try, well, that's sandwich bait. Regular worm, though, let's see what, like, a small region's doing. Regular worm. Oh, that's all mosquito, though. Old Burg is showing garlic dough. Primarily. That's so weird. I feel like normally... Garlic dough. Are they even fishing the same spot though? Isn't that sort of the other question? White bream might be coming out at totally different spots, the trophies. But I just can't shrink that leader size anymore if we're going to catch bream and and carp, which we seem to be doing on the garlic dough. Oh, I wasted some silver. Well, it's not really wasting, but it's frustrating because if I could still send my gear from my alt account back, then I wouldn't have needed to do this. But I got 3 small to mid-size feeder rods. The Siberia Sentence FD 340 MH, the Kama Impulse FD 450, and the good old faithful, one of my favorite early feeders, the Siberia Fortuna Feeder FD 420. Now here's the thought with these. These are all stronger than these Bunisons. And what I want to do is have these set up. These are cheap feeder rods, relatively speaking. Have these set up to fish for like burbot, sort of those like mid-size fish where it's really, we don't need to waste our carp rods on them. You know what I mean? Like, so it's kind of more of like a ease of use. Like I can have those set up without messing at all with my carp rods or having to switch gear around as much. So it's more just like ease of use for me. I also like the fact that I can now, when I'm fishing spots for burbot and stuff, I can be using gear that it's more realistic that someone who hasn't been playing as long as I have, and some people have, like on gear that they actually could afford, you know. I don't know, it just made sense to me. Ooh, it feels good to get that trophy. So it's a 4.46 trophy. We will be 5th place. Let's knock Wrangler off. Knock him right off. Sorry, Wrangler. But yeah, that one popped on there right at the beginning of Bream time. It's kind of interesting. I tell you what, man. Holy cow. We pulled that too quick. Alright, just for science sake, let's try this. We're going to put worms on there. Pulled it too quick. Now we have the smaller feeder on there, leader. So that wasn't a trophy bream. I guess if it was a white bream, it was probably a trophy. But more likely it was a... just a marker bream, you know. If it was a fish at all, like that could have just been some kind of glitch. Speaking of glitches, oh, it drives me crazy. It has been like that for ages. I wish that would get fixed. Alright, first fish on the worms. This really shouldn't catch the bream as much. It may, but theoretically, or at least a lot of times, the regular worms will hit those white bream a little better. I will say this though, if that doesn't pick up soon, we're switching that third line all the way back to just straight bream. It may be that people are just like accidentally catching those trophy whites. If people are aware that this bream spot is active, or other bream spots here, then they're just going for bream, and just, you know, 1 in 1,000 fish, they're getting a lucky white bream. So if next fish isn't a marker white bream on that third line, we're switching it up. We're going all the way back to... By the way, did anybody... Nobody say anything about my weekly record bream. They were focused on somebody's char, which I get. Char is a sexy fish, but come on now. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Can we get a trophy though? Stay a little longer on those worms. Whew. If I start getting trophy breams again, unfortunately, y'all might have a lot of bream content forced down your YouTube viewing eyeballs. It's just really nice silver, and it's just fun fishing. Fun night fishing. But again, I'll try to... I think this video, we're going to only do the bream fishing, but next time I will try to pair it with something during the day. I also need to buy another frickin' blinker so that I can just rotate blinkers instead of having to do that twice. Oh yeah, with only 2 lines in, we've got 10 markers. I mean, only 2 lines that are really going after nice bream. All right, so that weekly should have updated. Ooh, it hasn't yet. Has not updated. All right, let's take a little chance here. We're going to go down to 4.4 liter. That's a nice one. You know, that trophy did not fight at all. I mean, I just kind of had to stop it, and then it died down pretty quick, to the point where I was a little surprised that it was a trophy. And it wasn't a big trophy. I mean, it was a normal sized trophy, so. Hopefully that's a white. Good grief. No, that's not what we want to catch on this line. It's got to be white bream on this line, on those worms. It does look like white bream at Mosquito are going on the worms, though. A lot of the weeklies were from Mosquito. But here it looks like the big boys are preferring garlic dough. You just never know when to trust that, though, because like I said, if enough people are here fishing for bream on garlic dough, then the numbers are going to be way skewed because that's what's in the water. So we'll make some more bream mix. And probably get rid of the white bream setup for next time. Just doesn't seem like overall it's worth it. And we'd have a whole nother set of potential bream coming in. They're getting smaller, aren't they? Is that a roach? I think it's worth going till 6 a.m. at least, though. Sometimes these bream will trick you, and a really nice one will come in. Now, post 6 a.m., the chances certainly start noticeably decreasing, but I wonder if the common carp are biting down at the boot. We're not that far from the boot. Like, we could kind of get set up and then run down there for the daytime fishing next time, maybe. Just trying to do a little research. Make sure there aren't any other, like, really great spots that are worth checking out right now. All right, 6:30. I think we... Now is a good time to stop the bream fishing. All right, so let's go back to, let's see, 9.5. Yeah, let's just go back to the 9.8. Regular bream mix. Take that off. Trophy size hook. And garlic dough. Alright, so we'll be ready. So maybe next video, unless I find another spot in my research to try to test out for you all, maybe next video we'll do bream at night, start off with bream again, and then go to the boot and see if there's any commons down there. And we'll test the commons with, not boilies, we'll start off testing with potatoes, at least on a couple lines. And then maybe we'll float fish on the third line to work on leveling our float fishing. It's a good spot to float fish. I think that sounds like a good plan. Again, unless I find something else, but that could be a good like day-night strategy. Try to land a couple of common carp, but also let's work on still leveling float fishing here and there. Especially while we're here at Old Burg. Some good float fishing to be had here. Not so much with spinning. So we call mostly white bream and bream. Unless something's changed with the cafe orders, we should be... Yeah, okay. So, let's see how much that trophy's worth. Alright, so that is worth, one fish worth 44 silver. And all the fish 119 silver. So again, just nighttime of fishing. And whatever we make during the day will just be added to that. Alright, there's some setting up I need to do for the next one. I'll also start uploading this one while I'm waiting in between. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you're enjoying the bream fishing. We're going to get a little bit more of that, I suspect. Alright, peace out.